first.
There is. Has everyone got that, by the way?
Yep.
Yeah? Alright. Well, I'm Kieran Maginus. You all know me, so I didn't bother introducing myself on the PowerPoint. So I thought I'd start straight away by telling you my aims. My aims are to develop my employability skills, which is basically DPS, to set goals and plan my steps for becoming a teacher. I've told you like 100,000 times I want to become a teacher, so surely my next PowerPoint was going to be about teaching. And to set myself goals and find out ways to achieve them. To support my aims, I'll be looking at Honey and Mumford, Vark, Elbin at my Myers-Briggs scores. My Honey and Mumford shows that I'm a reflector. My Vark shows that I'm visual and oral, but I'm mainly visual. My Belbin team role is a coordinator, and my Myers-Briggs acronym is an ISTJ, which I'll go into detail about later. So, Honey and Mumford, this was my spread. So, I am a reflector, however, I'm quite well spread across all four of them. Reflectors are usually good listeners, which I tend to agree with, however, I do get a little bit bored sometimes. I'm not very interested in what they're saying. Thoughtful, yeah, sometimes, and not a risk taker, which I'm sure is reflected because I'm doing the business degree and there's so much entrepreneurial skills that I'm learning, and then I'm doing the safe option of becoming a teacher, so it's probably the safest job in the whole of the UK, where I'm learning such entrepreneurial skills. My VARC scores show that I learn best by doing, which I tend to agree with. I don't really like other people telling me how to do things. I like to do it myself, find out the way I like to do it best. I use a lot of diagrams in my learning, and that probably reflects in my A-level scores, because when I went to school, the teachers told us how you do it, this is the task, and this is exactly how we want you to do it. For your homework, this is exactly what you have to do. You can't do it any other way. You have to write essays to learn. I can't write essays to learn. I need diagrams, and that's probably what my A-level scores weren't as good as they should be. And I like clear and exact instructions. I don't like to wing things as much. I like to know what I'm doing. So if someone tells me to put this there, I like to know exactly what I'm putting there, exactly where I'm putting it. I don't like to wing things at all. My Belbin team role is a coordinator, which shows that I recognise talented people, which reflects as I want to be a teacher. I like to be in charge, again, I want to be a teacher, and I've got in brackets a secondary school principal. That's my main aim at the end of it, not just teaching. I do want to move up. I'm a little bit of a risk taker, however, it's quite selfish because I don't think I've still got my job. And manipulating. I don't think I'm manipulated, but I do tend to over-delegate work, so I suppose you could say I'm a little bit manipulating. My Myers-Briggs, ISTJ, introvert, sensing, thinking and judging. People who have the same scores as me generally succeed at any task they undertake. I like to think I succeed at any task I undertake, however, my level scores don't suggest that. Tend to have a good sense of humour and often put people, also fun to be around. I can't really say that for myself, I guess you'll have to ask you guys if I'm fun to be around. I think I'm fun to be around. I tend not to put energy into tasks that I don't understand. This is true. As I said before, I get bored a lot, so if I don't understand the work, I just brush it off. My SWOT analysis: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. My strengths are teaching. I actually teach. I'm a private tutor, and I have taught in a primary school. I've taught 5 kids, 4 of them doing GCSEs, 1 of them doing SATs. SATs received a level 5 out of 5. 4 of my GCSE students received an A, and 1 of them received a C, but they were doing a foundation paper, so a C was max. They actually got 95% of their paper, so I like to think that teaching is my strength. Time management and patience links into that, I suppose. My weaknesses, however, is I'm passionate about my point and I argue a lot. If I agree with something, I'm not going to shy away from it, I'm going to tell you what I think. If I think this board is blue and someone else is telling me it's red, it's always blue. Doesn't matter what you say to me, it's blue. That's how it's going to be. And that's because I'm quite stubborn. The aggressive thing, I don't see myself as being very aggressive. However, when I do put my point across, some people tell me that I'm quite aggressive. However, I don't really agree with that. My opportunities as a teacher is a PGCE and a Teach First. PGCE is probably not the way I want to go, because that involves a lot of writing. I'm not very good at writing, which my English score was a C, my lowest score. teach first is probably what I want to be, because I already teach, I've got the experience, so I'd like to just jump straight into the classroom, teach, be analysed on my teaching, which I don't mind because I'm quite confident when I teach. So I'd rather be assessed on the way I teach rather than assessed on the way I write about my subject. The threats, as I said, is poor writing skills, which will affect my PGCE grade. If I go into a PGCE, I might not qualify. I don't know, but I think doing a teach first, I'm quite confident on that. So, my goals. My short-term goals is to check the availability of the PGCE course at Hertfordshire and compare it with the teach first way of going. And I hope to do this by the 1st of March. I have actually checked the PGCE course at Hertfordshire. They don't have one for business, so again, that's going to be another threat to me, because I'll have to change location, change my institution and all that. My medium term is to finish the year with a minimum grade of 2-1. This should be done by the 1st of June. I say minimum grade of 2-1 because although there is opportunities in teaching, there's a lot of teachers out there that have quite high grades, and I think a 2-1 at minimum would put me in a good position to actually get the job when I'm competing with others. My long-term goal is to set up my own private tutoring business by the 1st of November. This links back to when I said I over-delegate work. I'm actually quite lazy. So whereas I do teach myself and make what I make an hour, I would rather pay someone else to do it and make profit on something that I'm not even doing, and just sitting at home and have someone else teach for me, giving them the work to do, collecting the money myself, paying them a wage, making myself a profit. Probably some of their business has taught me really. So in conclusion, generally succeeds at tasks I undertake. I'm patient, I recognise talent, good sense of humour. However, I don't put much energy into tasks I don't really understand. I'm quite passionate or aggressive, and however, overall, I feel teaching is a viable option. Concluding myself here. These are my references, and thank you. Anyone got any questions?
Passionate or aggressive? Do you think you come across to people, and knowing that you could be passionate, aggressive, do you temper your passion?
If I have a view, I'm going to tell you about it. If I don't agree with what you're saying, I'm going to tell you that I don't agree. I don't think I come across aggressive. I just make my point. Others are the ones that tell me that I'm quite aggressive because I sort of have an opinion about everything. If you say something, I'm going to tell you what my opinion is, and then I'm going to tell you what my opinion is. And because I talk a lot and I'm quite loud, naturally, people think I'm quite aggressive. I don't think I'm aggressive, but I do like to tell people.
And do you listen to other people's opinions?
I do listen to other people's opinions, but as I said before, if I don't agree with them, I don't care what they're telling me. They can't persuade me if they're telling me something different to what I'm thinking. But what I know, there's no way that I'm going to bother listening past a certain point, because I know that no matter what they say, I'm not going to change my mind.
So that could impede your improvement. You could impede your learning.
It could impede my learning. It has a lot of the time, because as I said back when I was doing my A-levels, a teacher told me, here's the way to do it. You have to write essays. You won't improve on your business knowledge unless you write these 15-mark essays over and over again. I don't write 15-mark essays over and over again. I don't like writing them out. I know how to do it. Once I do it once, I know how to do it. I would rather focus on the knowledge, do some mind maps, and actually learn, and then put it into practice on the day of the exam. At that point, I did try and listen to the teacher. I did write my essays, but it didn't work for me. So I'm having to stick to my guns a little bit more and just work the way I want to work rather than listen to how others tell me I should be working.
Surrender.
You're in a time machine, 5 years ahead. You're sitting in the classroom with a student who says, "Sir, what you're saying is rubbish. I don't believe anything you say." Irony?
It wouldn't happen.
It wouldn't
happen. What I say makes sense,
Yeah.
and when I say it's usually correct. But if he does do that, I would ask for his opinion,
I
and
just
then I would
wonder
try and persuade him that I'm correct.
if I let you deliver a lesson after Christmas, and I mean this, yeah, genuinely, and I give you some feedback and then say, "Kira, you need to do this, this, and this," is that likely to be thrown back in my face? Because that is a hinder.
I probably will take it because I've seen you teach, if that makes sense.
So I've earned my right to
You've
say.
earned your right. Some certain teachers
Forgive me,
don't
that's
earn their right.
Oh, that's a
If
different
I
story
get
then.
criticism from someone who isn't good, in my opinion, I don't care what they say. Even if it makes sense to me, I'm going to dismiss it because they don't know in my opinion, they're not good enough to tell me
I
how to
think,
do it.
thank you, I think. Just pointing in my head quickly. I totally get it, and I think something's happened at school to make you think like that. But you know, you can't go forward. Is self-reflection a very good
Yeah,
strength of yours?
I do self-reflect.
You do
quite often.
self-reflect.
Like today, I will be asking for the videos if I can to look and see what I've done, what I've
Sure,
done, or to see
sure.
if I ever get a chance like this again, I can improve on myself. I mean, not put my hands on my fucking self.
Your presentation execution was very good. I have no doubt there that you would make an awesome teacher.
Thank you.
But you know, here's a gentleman, a few years older than me. I've got a team of people who are professionals, magistrates, economists, researchers. You know, and I'm the youngest, and I'm trying to lead these things. And these guys are so humble, and I always speak to them in a way that, do you see what I mean? That there's no divide. So I think it's just something that you're cotton onto in life.
This goes on to my manipulator, but I can change the way I talk to certain people. I talk to Martin with a lot more respect than I'll talk to my peers, because obviously.
I've had nothing bad. Do you see what I mean? I'm just thinking I think you've got this one impression of you, and I think what we see is, I wouldn't say wildly different, but there is a difference. There is a difference. Teaching,
Not a
I
lot
think,
of
is
people
a-
tell me that different. Not a lot of people tell me their opinions because they do think I'm quite. I'm not gonna, I'm quite opinionated.
Yeah.
So I do like to hear what people think.
Sure. I worried slightly, sorry, Jack, when you said if that's red, and you think it's blue,
Yeah.
and if it's blatantly red, you would argue to
No,
it.
it's
That worries me slightly.
It's the other way
because-
around. If it's blatantly blue to me and you tell me it's red,
Sure.
I'm not going to listen to what you have to say because I know it's blue.
Okay.
It's not the other way around. I am colourblind actually.
Oh, forgive me. Now
I'm
the example
colourblind.
makes sense.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
We're going to draw a line under this. Any other questions?
Mm,
Thank you.